right. Hey, listeners. Welcome back to the last episode at Infocomm23. Thank you for joining us. Special thank you to Starren for hosting us and letting us be here and have such an awesome time at Infocom this year.
Shout out Chris Neto,
Jen Weaver. Thank you guys.
And the whole crew.
And thank you guys for having us. But Rich,
yes,
our last and very special guest here today with us is, and I will let you introduce yourself again.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Hulen, and I'm with Crestronto, and I work with all the colleges and universities across the U.S. and Canada.
Is this our first returning guest?
This is our first returning guest.
Wow.
Oh, hey.
Welcome back.
I feel extra.
This is a proud moment.
Yeah. You were the first ever guest on the show.
Yeah, him and Justin.
You and Justin.
Right?
Yes.
And you're the first ever return.
This is great.
So that's you didn't learn your lesson.
Full circle moment here,
Yes.
guys. Excellent.
John, first and foremost, how's the show been going for you?
You know, every Infocom is great. There's no question. But I think Infocom is back.
Is back, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Good to hear.
Yeah, and it feels like the buzz is here. The people are back. I know that there's still some schools that weren't quite able to come or bring as big of a group as they were, but I mean, it's an excellent turnout. And without trying to plug stuff too much, the Hetma booth has this. Man, I love that place.
Yeah.
And it has been packed.
Yeah.
It's a party shop.
We podcasted from there yesterday afternoon. Shout out to Joe and Hetma. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So
that's cool and all, but let's be honest, Crestronto still has the biggest booth
Front and center
on the show floor as soon as you walk in.
we do. We can't. We really can't. We can't be missed. But we love this. We do. We love the show, and this year we are trying to make it a little bit more about experiences and use cases rather than black boxes.
Yep,
that's cool.
It's still a packed booth.
Packed booth every time I walk by there.
Yeah. So it's been excellent. I have to look at how many stands we got after, but I do think it's on par with some of the bigger years.
Notice he said experiences.
Yeah.
There's that.
That's
experiential again. That was our presentation yesterday, was on experiential learning. And all of our podcast guests, I think so far, have mentioned some sort of experiential or collaborative buzzword. So I guess we were on point with our topic.
Yeah, you're right. We're
with the on the pulse. Yeah. And actually, if you hadn't said that yet, I guarantee you that would have come out of my mouth.
I tell you what, we got to get on WFN Pulse of the People because of that, man.
Yeah, we need to get something.
Craig Carden, we're coming after you, bro.
Where's our sponsor? Well, he's leaving WFN.
Yeah, right.
Where's our sponsor? Where's Jay? We go to B&H.
You go to B&H.
I digress.
So John, last time you were on the show, it was more trying times.
Yeah.
And we had that supply chain situation that was going on. I just want to touch on it real quick. I don't want to talk about it too much. How's it going? Where do we stand as far as the supply chain is concerned? I know I've experienced, sure, there's still some, but those lead times are starting to get better. In my opinion, from my side, how do you feel?
I still feel we're on the journey. I feel like we've turned the corner. I've been hearing from more schools this week here in Orlando that some of the things have showed up that they've been waiting for a while. But and we're shoring up additional suppliers. We're shoring up additional production lines. And so the good thing is I know that we're going to come out of this stronger, but we're not out of the woods yet. On delays.
Right.
The company's doing great, but I just, we're still taking longer than I would like to see us.
Right. But it's also that because, you're the product is good enough for the wait, in my opinion. Right. And it's worth the wait. It's obviously, is it trying? Is it not? Yes. But at the end of the day, the product you're getting. Right. And that's the product I'm waiting for. I'm not trying to put something in my room that I have to change out in 6 months to a year.
Right.
I want to put something in there and walk away for the next 5 years. Right. That's
hopefully
my
7 or 8.
Or hopefully 7 or 8. Yeah. That's my take on it.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to wait.
Yeah.
And listen, that's wonderful. And our partners have been more than patient, even the ones that have gotten impatient. One thing I'll say that we did try to do is, as another positive note, is what we're showing here at Infocom is all available and shipping today.
Love it.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
So that's a big step. We
That
tried
is.
to show stuff in the booth between the One Beyond cameras, between the some of the new DM Lite with USB and just things like that.
Yeah.
It's all available.
By the way, One Beyond was an amazing product. We're putting it in law classrooms coming up soon. But another thing that Crestronto does is a partnership, is a relationship you keep with your customers, right? And I'm going to give a shout out to my guy Justin over here, because he's always in touch with me. I'm sure he's always in touch with all of us, right? And he's like, all right, listen, tell me, what projects are you doing? And I'm going to get you in line. Tell me. So that communication, again, here we go. Communication and collaboration. Another buzzword, right? It's even throughout this entire process that those channels of communication have been absolutely fantastic. And you're letting us know where we stand and so on and so forth. And there was a period of time, I don't know if you're still doing it, but it's like, get your order in. If you cancel it, we'll give you full credit, no restocking fee. So all those things that you do to keep those relationships has been a fantastic.
Well, so I will mention one other quick thing is we started this program called the Crestronto Project Forecast.
Okay.
So if you speak to one of the education account managers or the A+ RSMs, and you've got a project coming down the road, if you work with us on the bill of materials, we put you in line with no PO.
Right. Okay.
So the idea is we start talking, well, okay, let's talk summer 2024, something like that. We can get you in line now.
Right.
So that you are more comfortable with your spot, more comfortable that you'll get everything by deadlines.
Yes. And that's awesome. All right. So let's change gears here. What product, Infocom 2024, 2023, we're not 24 yet. What product are you most excited about from the show? Is something really cool releasing that you could talk about that the folks that are not able to attend Infocom 23?
Yeah, well, I'm going to start with the video bar.
Okay.
We've got a new video bar coming out that has excellent sound quality, excellent room coverage, and it's actually got 4 cameras in it.
Okay.
So it's got a wide angle camera to get the whole room, and then it's got 3 field of view, narrow field of view cameras.
Okay.
And listen, the technology is one part, but it's really more about the experience.
Sure.
And so we start talking about the experience of group framing versus speaker tracking versus presenter tracking versus conversation mode, a brand new mode that we're coming out with. So if 2 people are talking back and forth,
right,
it brings up those 2 faces big,
right,
still with a wide shot down below.
Oh, nice.
So you can get that back and forth feel. So when I'm talking about that, I feel strongly that look, at the beginning of the pandemic, we all were doing what we could do. I think now we're able to go back with a discerning eye. And now I think it's important to start talking to the faculty about what kind of experience they're hoping to get, and start polling some of the remote students and things and find out how engaged they feel. And I feel strongly that the technology used both for the audio and the camera will make a huge difference in engagement.
And I'll ask this one question from a HyFlex perspective.
Yep.
All right. Again, my opinion is not very popular. I'm past the HyFlex phase. I know there's going to be some form of HyFlex all along. It doesn't matter. Someone's going to be sick. Someone's whatever it is. Where does Crestronto? Where do you think the HyFlex is headed? Is it here to stay? Is there a flavor of it that you guys are seeing in your research? Where do you think that is?
I absolutely feel it's here to stay. What I don't feel has been quite fleshed out yet is in what forms. So in fact, I was speaking to a school yesterday, and our focus is everybody back on campus. There's still great reasons to record the material
Right,
and the content.
Yep.
So on one hand, I say let's take a step back for a second. Hybrid and remote learners synchronously, that part may not be adopted by all. There'll be schools that do that. For instance, West Point, and has said we want a cadet to learn from anywhere in the world.
Right.
To be able
Shout out Gary.
Yeah,
Colonel T.
Gary and Colonel T.
That's right. And I loved when Gary mentioned that and thought, you know what, that's the flexibility that they want and need.
Yeah.
The truth is, I don't think 2 years from now, Gary's going to be, or anybody, school that is adopted like that will say, well, we want to go backwards.
Right.
Now, I think, it's important to understand that some schools are going to be completely focused on the in-person experience. And I say more power to them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, and I hope Crestronto as a company embraces whatever form learning takes.
Right.
So, I know some schools are worried about the enrollment cliff of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm not worried about that.
Right.
I'm not worried about it because education has been able to pivot at every obstacle that it's faced.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Pivot?
That's
Little Ross reference. Love
I'm out
it.
of
Damn. Out of coffee.
We're supposed to take a shot.
That's all we're supposed to drink coffee every time someone says pivot. We failed every single time, by the way.
Every single time.
Yeah.
We've gone through quite a bit of coffee this
Do
summer.
we have shots here? This is the last
shots of iced coffee.
Yeah. As long as the coffee mug, I don't think anyone. Actually, I don't know. On this floor, it seems like there's alcohol everywhere.
Oh, wow. Also fair. Can I jump back to partnerships real quick?
Yes.
So, John, you talked about partnerships. That made me think about the partnership that we have with Crestron as far as the academic program that George and I are building. And I wanted to talk, get your take on it. As far as you mentioned experiences, we brought our entire class as a field trip, end of the year field trip to the Crestron headquarters in New Jersey. Mind blowing. The entire class came.
Shout out to Chris Fitzpatrick
and Ava.
Oh, yeah,
and
Chris
Ava.
Fitzpatrick. And Ava. Yeah.
They were so overwhelmed. Now, overwhelmed in a good way. It was like coming full circle. George and I have talked. We had class for 12 weeks, and then that was like our second to last class. And the positive feedback from that's going to be something like that. It's going to be a staple going forward. We talked to like Gary about going to West Point and seeing like a different perspective, like maybe like something with the stadium or something and that type of thing. So some sort of experience, some sort of field trip, not just a K through 12 or a middle school thing,
Yeah, right.
But what would your advice be? We've had you on the pod. You guys have been supporters of the ETC event, obviously partnership, everything. Right. What would your advice be to George and I as we continue to build out this program for these, young minds?
Thanks for asking my opinion.
Yeah.
We had an amazing meeting yesterday. Rich Sasson, who's our head of been training for years and now focused on partnerships and messaging. And he is putting together a group of like-minded people from different industry groups. We had Avixa, we had Cedia. We were
on that call too.
Yes, on that call. So we had an in-person meeting yesterday. And I will tell you, you guys would have been stunned at some of the stuff that's going on in a great way.
Nice.
But I really saw two issues that I kind of wanted to highlight. One is, and they talked about, what we were really talking about is feeding the funnel of potential employees for AV teams at the schools, for manufacturers, for AV integrators. And what we were really saying is how do we get these people aware of what's possible? I never knew, when I was in high school and got up here, anything about a trade show like this that would have 1,000 different ways to work within just this industry.
Right.
And I think that could be really exciting to students. So the fact that you brought your school in as a field trip, they suddenly start associating income and careers and not just jobs and not just pushing an AV cart down the hallway.
Yeah.
Correct.
So to me, you guys are breaking ground in what should take us through the next decade, I think, and someone had said it yesterday, so we don't age out of our industry.
Right. No, I
love that. Yeah.
And it's another thing that we've heard this year at the show is that, is it too late? Is the program starting on a college level too late, right? Because when you're in high school, you start deciding, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be an IT guy, right? Do we need to start earlier, right? So that's one question. And two, yeah, and I won't put it out there shameless. Maybe one part of this course could be something like bringing the students that are enrolled in a summer course for the AV down to Infocomm for the entire week, right? They work the trade floor. They participate in all the activities that are going on. Maybe they work with the Vixa behind this booth. Maybe work with Crestronto in the booth. Whatever it is, even if it's just
scan some leads. I mean,
be involved.
Follow some of the tours in the booth. And that's such a great idea.
Learning by doing.
And I think that's learning by experience.
Yeah, experiential learning by doing. Yeah, all these buzzwords. Yeah, exactly.
True experiential learning.
Yeah.
Right there. And so, but seriously, so I guess that was a little bit of a two-part question. Let me circle back for a second. I do believe strongly that it's never too late.
Right.
And there were specific discussions yesterday about veterans, people, leaving the armed forces when their time is up and getting into these careers. So I think even at 40, 50, and around this age, there's opportunities for them to learn about everything they can do, from AV design to the broadcast to all these new experiential learning spaces and how to monitor and manage and support them. So I do believe it's never too late. The other thing is, there were a couple groups at our meeting yesterday that focus on high school curriculum.
Right.
And actually, that's one of the reasons I wanted you guys to at least connect there, because I think that could be some good, leads and feeders. And if nothing else, again, we're working on raising awareness.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's too late, and I'm excited about the possibilities. But I do feel like this is the time, if we think we're behind it all,
right, then
why not hit every level?
Every option that we get. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, you're right. And we submitted to present, hopefully, in January at the FETC conference, which is more K through 12 oriented, about our AV program. And we've also had some conversations with some local high schools as well. So we have started, but I think, we need to really, it seems like that's a common thing. We need to start getting that track going. Initially, I think when we first heard it a couple of days ago, we were like, oh man, like we took it as a negative. They're like, no, they're not. It was constructive feedback. Like, what you're doing is great, but we can do more and start them even earlier. I think that what was the one study? Was it James Davis told us yesterday that females make up their mind? James King. They make up their mind. Girls make up their mind by third. No, he said it might even be third grade. Like they start formulating.
8 or 9 years old.
Yeah. So I was like, my daughter is entering third grade right now. So I guess she wants to start thinking about what she's doing for a living.
I don't think I do what I want to do before I turn 30.
I still don't know what I want to do.
When I grow up.
Let me know when I find out. Should we go to some fun questions?
Yeah, let's go.
We like to do the last few minutes with some fun questions to lighten it up a little bit.
I'll give you your question back.
What, you want to start? You're gonna actually. That was my closer question, and you keep stealing it from me.
Yeah, but I'll let you go back to it.
All right, we've been asking all of our guests this question as a BaldAVGuys. Who would you consider the sexiest bald man alive? Actor, musician.
Yeah.
We have a specific answer that we hope everybody gives.
John had answers to everything, but he looks stumped.
Yeah,
he's stumped. One
present company excluded.
I forgot that part. Present company excluded.
I want to choose between you guys.
Well done. He's buying time now. He's buying time.
There's so many is the problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, let's say Michael Jordan.
Oh, Michael!
Wow.
Oh, wow. How's that not on our list?
How come nobody picked him?
How come we never
thought of that?
Yeah. We have a number one.
Our number one.
All right, but I want to hear your number one.
Our number one is Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Man,
Michael Jordan.
but yeah.
As sports guys, how did we drop the ball on that one? No pun intended.
Has Michael Jordan never been on a top 3?
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
MJ, we apologize.
Sorry, MJ. He just sold the Hornets this morning. I read that on the
Did he?
news. Yeah, or he's in the process of selling them.
Some agreement on it.
Yeah. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Damn. Well,
Wow.
my list just changed. I mean, it's still Brucey. Bruce is still one.
Bruce is always going to be.
But I just 2. Statham just went to 3.
Wow.
Yeah, I just-
Heyo.
The only thing with Bruce is I feel like it took him a while to get to Bald.
That's fair.
If he embraced Bald right away,
That's fair. He did have the kind of
he
in
tried to
between
keep
look.
it along
Mhm.
for a
You're
long
right.
time.
You're
No
right.
judgment there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hey,
Yeah.
fair.
Someone said Travolta too.
Yeah.
Travolta's
Yeah, he is.
He's there.
He is now.
He's-
Now.
you
It
know,
took him
it's
a while
funny.
too, but.
Used to tell, when Pulp Fiction came out,
Mm.
dude, you look like John Travolta.
You know, I was
could see
just
that.
starting to think. I
I
was
could
like,
see
yeah,
that.
where's Travolta
See,
going?
I
could see
got this
that.
little butt chin. Sorry, I shouldn't say that.
Very good.
You know, but anyway, yeah.
Nice.
Travolta, yeah. He's a stud.
You know,
guy,
the
too.
more I'm looking at you, John,
Oh,
you
man.
could be a
I just, you know,
you
that
could
is-
be a
Oh,
double. Yeah,
I should have never let that.
George will never forget that one.
I'm going to title this episode "Our Special Guest John Travolta."
I'll take it. I'll take it. When people used to say that, I always just say, "Yeah, but I wish I had his money."
No,
Yeah. Where do you want to go with this one?
let's do the time machine.
Good. Time machine. Take it.
So here's another curveball idea. If you got access to a time machine, would you want to go into the past or would you want to go into the future, and why?
Wow.
You want to go Back to the Future 1 or Back to the Future 3?
That's exactly right. Let's see here. Well, there's so many things I would do over.
Fair.
I think I'd want to go to the future.
Okay.
All right.
And I think I'd want to go to the future because I feel strongly that it holds so much promise and an opportunity. I guess I'd want to see, if we were able to make some of that come to fruition.
Yeah.
Fair.
Will the AV industry survive AI and everything that's coming?
We didn't even touch AI. We'll save that one for another.
Yeah. You don't want to hear George's answer. I think his was go to the future, get all the sports scores, and then come back and bet on them and become a millionaire. Something
I want
like
to
that.
hit the sports
We
encyclopedia.
never said anything about coming back, though.
Huh?
We never said anything about coming back. Who said you can come back?
Stay there.
Yeah. What if you have to stay there? Yeah.
What if
but you
I-
could stay your same age.
What if I run out of
Oh, you have to stay your
plutonium?
same age? Or do you get fast forward in age, too?
Curious.
That's curious.
Yeah.
What if I-
We didn't flesh that question out.
What if
because
I flex
would've been
capacitor goes bad?
2250
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
age would be.
Yeah, that's a very open-ended question.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
interpretation there. To be determined.
John, I think I don't know if we asked this question. I feel like I need to ask you this question. This is not one last curveball. Usually we've asked two, but I think you'd be a good one to ask this one question.
Is it because he looks like John Travolta?
Yes. One historical figure you would like to have dinner with.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
One historical figure.
From the past, not anyone that.
For me, I'm a person of faith. It would be Jesus Christ. I'm
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
But I've thought about it some too, and there's just too many to name.
Yeah.
It's more like pick a period from Socrates to sit down and listen to
Fair.
some of that.
Yeah.
See, I knew John would be a good person.
Yeah,
to
that
ask
was a good
that
answer.
question.
Yeah. Well, and there's just been so many amazing people.
Yeah.
Shoot, I never got to hear too much or experience too much Maya Angelou.
She was at Pace once. She was a special guest speaker at Pace a couple years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
So whether it's artists, there would be so many.
Yeah.
Composers.
Lots of dinners.
Lots
So
of maybe
you do want to go into the past in the time machine.
Well, when I thought about it, I was like, oh, well, then I could just go visit anyone.
Yeah.
But I want to look forward. The other person I would have dinner with, but he hasn't passed, is Warren Buffett.
Okay.
And I love Warren Buffett's optimism.
Hey.
Yeah.
And so I know I feel like he's very
And that's a lot of information that you can get from.
right.
That's a really smart man.
Yep.
Amazing.
For sure.
Well, John, thank you so much. We've come up on time.
Yeah.
And again, this is our last show at the show. This has been a fantastic Infocomm a very different experience for Rich and myself.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for closing out the show with us, John.
Yeah,
First I almost threw the table over there. First returning guest.
Yeah.
I guess we did something right, and he agreed to come back on a second time.
Right.
Yes, I'm humbled by the offer and really appreciate you guys. And again, just the podcast you do and the awareness you're raising and the degrees you guys are working on. I know we're just chipping away a little bit right now. You'll be able to look back in just a couple of years and start seeing some serious results.
Yeah.
So, good on you.
Thank you. And shout out Justin. We miss your sexy radio voice.
For the record, let's just say this.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just call it as it is.
Full season and a full Infocom, and
Sexiest
Justin
podcast
still
voice
has
2 days.
Yeah,
Justin,
he's still nobody's
I don't know
topped
why
him
he's
yet.
doing radio or movie trailers or something. In a world.
Yeah. Craig was pretty close yesterday, and Red had a pretty good little thing. Justin remains number one.
Silky smooth.
Smooth. On that note.
He has that 101 jazz.
Yeah.
You need to get him recorded on that.
Yeah. That being said, Georgie.
That being said,
it's been a great show.
It's been a fantastic show. See you guys hopefully in Infocom 2024. But season 2 of Cables, Coffee, and Curveball. Did I get it right? Yep.
You got it right. Reading the sign on the ground.
I don't know why you look down. It's right there.
It's right in front. All good.
Season 2 of Cable, Coffee, and Curveball will be back in September, July.
September, but we'll have some specials over the summer.
Summer.
We won't leave everybody hanging over the summer.
Yeah, it's too long of a break.
Yeah, it's too long. But the official season 2 will start back in September. But some specials over the summer for sure. Keep you guys.
Thank you for listening to us, and keep listening to us, and we're gonna, keep this train going. So, take care, everybody. Happy summer.
Take care.
Happy summer.
Happy summer. What the hell was that? Kumbaya. We should do another kumbaya.